Hello, this is Real Talk with Miss Brenda. I am Miss Brenda, and today I have the other part of Miss Brenda, my wonderful daughter Melinda, who has actually been with me every step of the way. Technically, I am founder of the Love Lady Center, but we know it's really because of God. And my daughter has been with me every step of the way in everything that we've done. I am probably the most blessed woman in the world to have her as a daughter.
Now that's probably true.
No, that's not true.
Just play.
This is a serious show.
This is a serious show.
Yeah, this is going to be
But
serious.
I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about Love Lady.
Well, we're going to talk about Love Lady, but just keep calm. This is so special to me because this is our 20th year in a few days. On October 5th, we brought our first women into our home, into my home, and our lives have never looked back and never could have imagined where we are today. We began with 7 women from Tutwiler, and now thousands have been through the program. When we started the ministry, it was a time in our lives when things were very hard, and I knew God had called me to serve. I didn't know exactly how. If I had known, people ask me all the time, would you have still done it? I don't know. I like to think I would have, but there have been so many times in the last 20 years. 20 years, Melinda.
Yes, 20 years.
20. And when we started, they thought we might last 6 months. It is all, hand me that book, darling. No, the other one. Yes. The story of the start is in this book. I felt like it was very important for us to tell our story. So this is our first book, and it tells how we got started, what we did. Very, very easy reading, and now they are going to make a movie out of this book. And then the second book is right here. It finishes the story of where we are now, plus so many stories of our women that are in here.
Okay, I can't help it. I got to interrupt. So we've been talking about this movie for a long time now. Can you please give us an update?
Oh my gosh, Hollywood time is so different than our time. I've never seen anything like it. Presently, Lionsgate has it, and I believe that they will get the movie made. COVID came in. There was a strike that came in. There was a divorce, and who owned, not in our part, but a man and woman had bought the movie right. They got a divorce. There was a fight in there about who got the rights. And all the time we're just sitting by patiently doing what we would do if there wasn't a movie.
And I don't know if you and patient, if you can say that in the same sentence.
Yes,
but
I'm going to say it in the same sentence.
You can say it. I don't know if it's. But so you're just saying normal. So you're saying normal. So delays. Just as we have delays in our life, the movie has had lots of delays, but we believe in God's timing. It's going to come out. Just as
I know it is. I know. I believe with my whole heart.
We teach our girls.
God spoke to me about this movie.
We teach our girls his timing is not our timing, and so we're going to say the same thing about this movie.
You know, I can look back and say, well, if we had done the movie 5 years ago,
it wasn't time.
It wasn't time. Can you even think it was time?
No.
You know, and they started casting. I can't say who's playing who, but it has been. I was hearing about Yellowstone and some of these things that are just now coming. Some of them have been on the table being planned for 15 years. I thought, gosh, I'm going to be so old. They're going to have to push me in a wheelchair to go watch the movie. And you know what? I've decided I'm okay if I have to get pushed in a wheelchair. I'm very excited about what God is doing. So excited about what God is doing in the ministry that I cannot concentrate on just a movie. People think that we want the movie because of us, but let me tell you, that really has nothing to do with it. Do you know how many lives, how many women may go see that it will touch them and it could change their life? That's how, when I write the book, I'm writing to people. I think that they can look and see, and they can say, well, if this can happen to her, then it can happen to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the only reason. It's to give God glory for what he's done, because when you take what God has taken and have done as much as he has done in so many lives, that there's no way that you can give anyone credit for what has happened other than him. I think I'm not anxious for it to come out. I'm in God's
Excited.
time. In God's timing. In God's timing, when it's his time, I'm ready. I just knew that we'd been talking about it and wanted those who have been following and listening for a long time, I wanted them to know that it was in the making, that it was coming, and
it's
still
still
was.
on the way. It's still on the way. Everything is still on track for it. Let me ask you something. How many women would you say have been through?
I mean, we can safely say over 16,000, close to 17,000. We didn't start keeping great numbers until 2010, but we were able to estimate over the years. But
16,000 women, and even if their life isn't changed or they might have gone back or something, that is 16,000 lives that God has touched one way or other through this ministry. And I was going to be happy with 7. When I had 7,
I don't
thought,
think you were ever going to be happy with 7, because
Yes, I
7 only
was.
lasted for a few days. So I don't. But anyway, that's okay.
well, I mean, I wasn't looking for 16,000 women to come
No.
traipsing through here.
No, and they couldn't all fit in Hob Hill either.
No, and all I wanted was to have a nice, quiet little ministry up on Hob Hill and change a few lives. Never, ever crossed my mind any of this. And when Hob Hill filled up, we filled up your house.
I was thinking about, and I know we're talking about timing, but when we're thinking about the first 7 that came, and then yesterday baptizing 79, I believe it probably 72 women, and then some children. So it was absolutely.
I don't ever count because I feel like the Lord told me don't count, just do. But now that we have a board where it shows all the baptism pictures, and the baptism pictures are on top of other baptism pictures, on top of pictures, on top of pictures. And when I realized that yesterday we baptized 79 people, that's a lot of people in one day.
It was a lot of people, and each one. And I remember at one point being tired, and we'd been there for a while, and I was like, Lord, how long are we going to be doing this? And then I'm like, and then it's just like when I realized that every single life was, as some would get in with hope, some would get in, you could see remorse or brokenness, or you could see it getting into the baptism, and you could just see that they were legitly and for real surrendering their lives to Jesus. It was beautiful. I just remember about the 79th one, I was looking for the 80th. I didn't want it to end. It was beautiful.
That's how it is.
It was beautiful.
I hurt my knee. I hurt my knee several weeks ago, and I'm really struggling with it. I have to have a brace on my knee right now, and I'm really struggling with it. And I know everybody was coming up to me and saying, "Is your knee all right? Is your knee all right?" And at one time I said, "My knee is fine." And they said, "Well, you've got a lot more." And I said, "You know what? If I'm standing here tonight, I'm still baptizing, my knee will still be fine." But it's baptizing that many people. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. But when you look at each one of them in the face, when they get in there, and I was telling Melinda, we were telling this story yesterday. Years ago, we did not have a way to baptize, and I had asked a couple of churches, and they couldn't share it at that particular time. And years before that, I had bought a church, a portable baptism pool, and these baptistries, you walk in and you go, and then you walk out. But ours is the old-fashioned kind. You just walk in, you baptize, you turn around, and you walk out. So consequently, we stay wet the whole time. But I was looking at that, and I was thinking, you know, Melinda said it would be nice if we had one where you walk in and you walk out, and it would be so nice. But I don't know if I could retire Old Faithful.
Oh, I don't know if we should retire Old Faithful. I think to know the lives that have been baptized in there, I mean, you're looking at over 1,000 baptisms, 1,000 of our women and our children, and sometimes I think we've had the DoorDash deliver get baptized, and some other visitors get baptized. But when you think of what the baptismal that one, I don't think we need to retire it. Just to have one that we can move. One that you could get out both sides where you didn't have to turn around and walk over.
I can see that, but
that's all.
We've baptized a lot more than 1,000 women in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I guess we could set them both up and say which one you want to go in. They would all pick Old Faithful.
Okay.
You know, but we may get a new one. I don't know. She's kind of bossy, and so she gets what she wants. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. She thinks she's the mother, and I'm the daughter. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there.
Then I've got a lot of work to do if that's the case. But
hard to get along with.
That's not the case, Mom. We got to get into the alumni, our 20-year celebration.
Well, yeah, we are. First, I want to say something else, though.
Okay.
And since the name of this show is Real Talk with Miss Brenda, I don't see your name on there, so I think I can do this. We are doing a lot of changes at the center, making things better. And so we are doing a beautiful boutique kind of store inside Irondale right now that highlights all the talents our women have in all of this. There's paintings, there's bracelets. Oh, my goodness, and it is so beautiful. I am so excited. The grand opening is not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday. So I'm sure when you're seeing this, it's probably going to be tomorrow. But anyway, I am so excited about it, and so we have these shirts.
And we need to talk about these shirts.
Yeah. Mine says Women of the Bible,
which I think is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. And that was the shirt that I asked for when she brought me this shirt, and she said it. She says Woman of God. Make sure y'all can say it. It says Woman of God.
And mine says Women of the Bible. Make sure you say it.
And so I just wanted to tell a little story. I had said I wanted the Women of the Bible shirt because I thought it was just so cute and beautiful.
It is. It's adorable.
It is. And these are so comfortable. And I was like, I got to have me a shirt like that. Well, then they bring me this Woman of God shirt. And I thought, well, it's beautiful and I love it. I love the font. It's still comfortable, but I just don't feel comfortable wearing a Woman of God shirt. Like if it had underneath it in parentheses, I'm really trying, I might like it better, but it just to me, it's like a really bold statement. So I call Mom. Mom calls me and she goes, "What do you think of my shirt? What do you think of your shirt?" I said, "Oh, I love it, Mom. It's great, but I don't think I can wear it." And her feelings got hurt because I said I didn't know if I could wear this Woman of God shirt. But I feel like people are going to be looking at me.
They are.
And think they are looking at me.
So you have to act like a woman of God.
I know, but I need them to see it, not read it. I want them to see that I am. That's what I'm striving to be.
Maybe we could stamp on there, I'm really trying.
That's what I think. If we could put a little asterisk right here underneath, just I'm really trying.
Can we do that?
I think that would work better. But anyway, I wore it. So anyway, I wore it today because her feelings were hurt.
My feelings weren't really hurt.
She tried to take the shirt back.
I do a lot of these shirts, and so my feelings was a little hurt, but I mean, you ought to be walking and talking and trying to be a woman of God.
I am. I do.
Huh. Well, I can tell you, I'm not sure how it always.
This morning at devotion, the speakers were buzzing really bad, and I said, "Oh, I'm buzzing," and I said, "Oh, that doesn't sound right when you're wearing a Woman of God shirt."
You know what? You irritate me so bad sometimes, but the truth of the matter is that you are one of the strongest women of God I've ever known.
Oh, I fall so short, but thank you. Anyway, I got the shirt on
I'm
today.
being nice to her today. Y'all notice that?
I have noticed.
I want to know, what is your very favorite memory of the early days?
I can't. I think all of it tells a story one at a time, one moment at a time. It doesn't define it, but to see how God moves in it and how He's moved in it. And in some of the hardest days, the absolute hardest days, today technically would be a greatest memory because of where we are today and how He got us through that when I didn't think we could get through it. Now that day, it was a horrible day, and I thought it was, whatever that day was, the day that they were going to, turn something off, or the day that payroll was 6 weeks behind, and it's Christmas and we're having to tell our employees that we still don't have it, and to see how God brought it in and how He provided, and how how can you beat yesterday baptizing 79 women and watching the hope as each one was baptized? It was just to see how God is in the good days and the bad days, and even in the bad days, when you reflect on the bad, you can say, you know what, they weren't so bad after all, because my faith increased. I saw Him in it. I see Him in it. And despite us, He does it anyway.
Without trials, it's impossible for your faith to increase. You have to go through a certain amount of fire for you to be able to come out with more faith. My faith grows. My faith grows most every day. I mean, something happens. Like in the morning, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so tired and I don't really want to do this and really want to do that. Or then it's like God will just, come on, you can do this. You can do this.
Also, every year, the alumni event is one of my favorite days. They're hard, fun days, but they're just to see everyone all the love ladies who come and just to see the magnitude is super special. So this is a shameless plug for that day. October 20th is our, and this one is, as we previously said on this podcast, is going to be a fun day. We think we've got lots of special things planned for you. It's going to be bigger than, we've got more jumpy things, more fall festival booths, and a resource center that's gonna have so many resources for you. So we really, really want all our grads to come. If you haven't registered, please register. It's going to be a super, super great time.
Please come. It's celebrating 20 years. 20 years for ministry, and that is a good milestone, isn't it?
She has us doing something that, y'all come on, you don't want to miss it. I'm like, I cannot believe she's talking me into it. We can't tell them. They're gonna have to come. Y'all gonna have to come. But
I love to tell secrets.
She does. We're not secret telling today. All right,
I guess I'll leave it alone, but
they can come and see it.
Listen. I want you there. I really do. So much you can't believe it. It hurts my heart to think that you might miss this day, because you'll get to see, to be honest with you, I'll get to see you, and that's what I'm really after. But you'll get to see me too, and Melinda, and the fun things and where we are today. And I hope it's a beautiful day at that park. Most of the time it is just so pretty. And the leaves are kind of turning, and we got pumpkins out there for the kids, face painting. I'm watching our staff get ready for it. I can't just, we don't want you to miss it. And you will be sorry that you don't come after you hear how great it is that you didn't get. And goodies. We've got you a goodie bag. Can I tell them?
You can tell them.
Oh, I can tell one secret. Okay, I'm so excited. In your goodie bag is going to be our second book. And then if you hadn't read the first, it'll be available for a small price. But we are giving you number 2. And that's a big deal because these books sell for a lot on Amazon. And not too much Amazon. We're very thankful to you. But this is that's worth it right there. Because then, who knows, you may even be in it. I think about the first baptism that hit me so hard yesterday. That's one of my favorite memories. When we borrowed the baptistry and we got it over there, and we thought it was a lot. There were 4 girls or 5 that were going to be baptized. And if you're one of those girls, let me just tell you, that's always in my memory. Nobody was there except Melinda and me, because in the early days, it was me and Melinda and Shay. And so what happened is that when we got the baptistry and we borrowed it, we didn't borrow the steps. We didn't have a way of getting in. And after I realized that, I thought, oh my gosh, we can't do this. And so I said, well, we can't do it. And we don't have a step. And this lady said, but my mama's coming. I said, oh, okay, well, mama's coming. We'll baptize you. But I hope nobody gets hurt trying to climb in and out of this thing. So we filled it up to the brim. I mean, boy, we got that thing so full. And when the first lady started climbing in and splashing, and she sat down, all the water came out and hit us. And I mean, like, it was cold, you remember? And it was already turning cold that night. And I'm like, oh my God, now I'm soaking wet. And now I've got to stand here and baptize, and I'm tired, and I'm hungry, and I don't want to do this, Lord. I don't want to do it. And now I've done that. Somebody's going to get hurt. But we went ahead and we baptized and got soaking wet. And, it's like you could feel the Spirit of the Lord that night as much as I've ever felt Him. And I'm standing there, and I'm so torn because I know we're doing the right thing, but it was cold and kind of miserable, and I am human and am a complainer. So that's enough, Melinda.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just I agree would have been.
I'm ready for the good. I'm ready for the good part. You're cold. You're hungry. You're wet. I got you.
I said, well, if nobody else wants to be baptized, that's it for tonight. I'll dismiss us. And in the back, this lady's kind of sang a cappella.
Yeah, a cappella, yeah.
And she started singing, I have decided to follow Jesus. And she came up to get baptized. And my goodness, she sounded so good. And then several more women joined in and said, I have decided to follow Jesus. And they were singing. And it's like the Spirit of God was just putting them in. Nobody got hurt, putting them in that. And it was the most unique experience I've ever had. I love that.
So, and I think
that has stuck with me.
And I think that's like the point is that he is so faithful, and that like on a night where it's it's later. We have our plan. We love to make our plans, and we love to think that this is how it's going to go. And then when it starts to sway, then we're ready to give up and get defeated. But in the midst of it being a mess, an absolute mess, we didn't have the stairs. We didn't know what we were doing. We filled it up too much, and then like the Lord's Spirit is still faithful, and I think He just loves. I think that's one reason that the center has been successful, not at our failures, but at His faithfulness.
His faithfulness has covered a multitude of our mistakes.
And so those beautiful nights, like, I've decided to follow Jesus. I can think of so many things that we've put so much effort in, and then then we're like, okay, this isn't like we wanted it to be, but then the Lord immediately takes over. And I think that's been the theme for 20 years.
I don't know where you are right now, but a personal relationship is what it's all about. You got to get that personal relationship with Him. And my goodness, I love Him so much. And that same Jesus that I love, I'm sharing with you. I want you to love Him like that. There are times when I felt like I had to quit. One time, I was going to go in and tell Melinda that I was quitting, that I just couldn't do it anymore. And this wonderful man that's one of our volunteers that I love so much, Father William, came to the door. And he said, could he see me a minute? And I thought the last person I wanted to see was Father William, because he's always so uplifting and all this, And I was ready to be in that gutter that day. I was ready. And he came in and he said, he was talking with his Lord that day, and they were walking in his garden, and I could envision that. And he said, and let me tell you, he said, I believe that the Lord showed me if he was talking with someone and walking this earth today, it would be you in these halls with these women. And I just kind of sat there. Well, I don't know about you, but if Jesus is going to be showing up, I want to be there. So I decided, well, I wasn't going to quit that day. And I don't think you've ever thought about quitting.
Quitting, no. But are there days where I want to hide? Yes.
Well, I'm not a hider. I'm a quitter. No, I'm not really a quitter.
You're not a quitter.
Not
a quitter.
I am not a quitter.
I think the Lord will put us, for us, He's put us, there comes a point where you're so far in.
Yeah, you can't. It'd be harder to get out. That's what I was thinking that day. I could get a bus to come pick them all up and take them somewhere. And, and then can you imagine looking at them and saying, I quit and I'm sending you back to Tutwiler or the court or something like that? Ladies, you don't know. You don't know what a responsibility it feels like. But let me tell you, I give it to the Lord. When it gets more than I can handle, I'll just say, Lord, it's on your shoulders today, not mine, but yours.
Every day.
It seems like a lot of my favorite memories are around baptism. Maybe it was because yesterday was baptism. But do you remember when we baptized in the Gulf?
Yeah, I was not there. I was at the center. But yeah.
She wasn't there. Oh, well, missed a good one.
Somebody had to stay and take care of the center while you were baptizing in the Gulf. That was me.
Oh, see how she has to make me sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Shay had it in her head she had to be baptized in the Gulf. She kept calling it the ocean. I said, Shay. She said, no, I've got to be baptized in the ocean. Got to. I said, oh, well, we're going down there. And so all she could talk about is getting baptized in the ocean. So we get down there, and we had taken them on a trip, and it was a great trip. And the day came when we were leaving, and that's her big baptism in the ocean day. And so it was cold and the wind was blowing and the waves were high. And I'm like, my gosh, Shay. She said, got to do it. And I said, okay. So we get out there. I get out there. And I baptized a couple of women. And I couldn't really stand up good because it kept knocking me down. And I thought, I'm not sure this is what the Lord meant about getting baptized. I mean, we were getting like washed. And so I scream out, Shay, come on in. You know, she was supposed to already be walking in. And I saw Bo and Jeff on each side of her. And they were talking to her, and she was saying, I couldn't figure out what she was saying. And so finally, they walk her out there. I said, what, you got to have escorts? She said, yes. In that defiant little tone of hers. And she said, yes, I do. And I said, okay. And Bo said, go ahead and tell her, Shay. And Shay said, I'm afraid of the water. I said, you have got me out here in the ocean, waves blowing, whipping around. I'm about ready to go under any minute. And now you telling me you're afraid of the water? Yes. I said, well, how are we supposed to do this? She said, you're just going to have to grab me and hold me under. She said, because I'm going to do it. I just know I'm afraid. I thought, I'm going to hold you under, all right. I said, okay. And sure enough, I put all I had into it. And she got baptized in the ocean. And that ended up being her favorite memory of her life.
And she talked about it a lot.
She talked about it all the time.
It was beautiful.
And I'm very bad about pictures. Are you believing I don't even have a picture of that? What is wrong with me?
I think there was a picture taken, but Shay didn't like it, and I think it got.
Well, her legs were up in there and everything else.
Yeah, and then it was funny. Her description of the picture, but I know that the memory was embedded in her heart forever. So it was. I missed it, but it was definitely a trip worth.
It was great.
It was.
So many wonderful memories.
You baptized several that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I wonder who else was baptized that day. I would love if you were baptized that day that she's speaking of in the Gulf. I believe it was probably 2006. I believe it was probably 2006.
If you have that picture.
Any picture.
Any pictures of Shay, I would love to see them. There's some of her in this new book, but not as many. I would love to see. Shay, Melinda, and I were a very unlikely trio. I was the visionary. Melinda runs circles, admin around me. Well, and Shay was just streetwise.
And we needed that. We needed
streetwise because Melinda and I tend to want to believe everybody, and you can't really do this type of ministry if you can't call people out. So one of my first prayers that I prayed, and again, He's faithful.
I still believe everybody, but I do have the gift of discernment, and God. I love to trust people. That's not going to change. But God gives discernment, and we can love you. And I love how the Lord gives us the ability to love them through the deception.
That's what most of you. I want you to understand. There may be consequences behind your actions, but the truth of the matter is, in a month, I'll forget all about it. I mean. I want to trust you and I love you. But one of the first things that I prayed about is, Lord, give us discernment. Give us the ability to know who's doing what and who's saying what. And you know what? He has. So much so much discernment. I mean, I can pretty well tell a lie from the truth. God has really, in spite of, this is what is so remarkable, in spite of our weaknesses, he just raises right up and keeps things in the middle of the road for us.
He does. And I know that he does that because of his love for the people that he has brought to us. I love, I tell the girls all the time that to go to the extreme in the provision that God has done to make the Love Lady Center possible, I know it's because of his love for those who come to the center. His love is unmeasurable, and it's beautiful.
One of the questions that I'm asked all the time, and I'm sure you are too, is why with seemingly normal people.
Normal's overrated. Go ahead.
What would make us just do what we do?
Well, and normal's overrated. I want to say I think that ship sailed a long time ago for us, but I think we're the most blessed individuals. I mean, I think we're very blessed to be able to do what we do, and I hate for anyone who is not living their purpose that God gave them. I want to encourage you to turn that. We've all got a God-given purpose. Let's live it out.
God has a purpose for you, just as He had one for me and for Melinda.
I think that's our time.
Oh my goodness, we're not through. Oh, we gotta go, y'all. I'm sorry. We love you. God bless.
Yes, God bless. See you on the 20th.
See you later.